This is a free sample of the book, Man's Guide to Making Male Friends, by Cairo Copeland. The first half of this book is posted right here on YouTube, free for everyone to listen to. If you like this content and want to hear or read the rest, or want to listen to it free of ads, visit reinventideal.com/friends. The book is available on Kindle, paperback, and Audible at reinventideal.com/friends.
Intro: Why men with many male friends are more successful in life. I want to share with you a little secret, something that will drastically improve your life and make it much easier to enjoy. There are plenty of products and services out there being sold to you under this guise, but I tell you what, this one thing is something that legitimately does the trick. And best of all, it doesn't cost you anything, or at least it doesn't need to. You do this one thing, it will also greatly reduce your stress and make you much less likely to experience depression. You do this one thing, and it will help you stay in shape and avoid obesity, so you're going to maintain a higher standard of health, and it is scientifically proven that it will also help you live longer. And as if you needed another reason, doing this one thing also makes you a lot more appealing and attractive to women. It helps you in the woman department. So what is it? The answer is having male friends. Before we get started, I have a free gift for you. As a way of saying thank you for listening to this audiobook, I want to give you a free gift. At reinventideal.com/free gift, you will receive the ebook DMs for Dates, using Instagram like a dating app. What this ebook covers is how to carry conversations with women you wish to date on Instagram through DMs. And this works with both women you already know and with women you haven't met yet. I will show you how to save time, avoid endless chit-chat, and get her on the date sooner. So head to reinventideal.com/free gift to claim this now. Thank you so much for listening. A big part of what makes you a high-value man is other men respecting you. And women notice this. They're more attracted to a guy that's friends more so with other guys than a guy that's friends with mostly girls. See, being friends with girls is easy. All you have to do is give them free attention, which just about every simp in the entire nation does. But being friends with guys is difficult because you must be respectable enough to get them to suppress their competitive nature and egos to give you attention. And they recognize this. Don't let women be the only motivation for you, though. When men do this, the quality of their lives skyrockets. They report being happier and more satisfied with their circumstances. They feel less like an unwelcomed inhabitant of this world, which this world is so good at making males feel. Instead, they feel like they have a place here and a purpose to continue living. I meant to include a lot of this in the book Reinvent Ideal, because that book is all about finding happiness as a male, especially after red pill awareness, and especially when coming to terms with the fact that the world just hates us for being male. But you see, that book was just getting way too big. I was cramming way too many things in there. However, in that book was a list of tools for reinventing yourself with the red pill. And one of those tools is never call your woman your best friend. There was more to it than that, though. I mean, obviously you don't want to be that guy that calls his girlfriend or his wife his best friend, because then all the other guys are going to make fun of you. But the subtext of that rule is you want males to be your best friends, your closest companions. And the gist of it isn't just bros before hoes. There is real scientific backing for how a male best friend can be of greater benefit to you than assigning that role to your significant other. Many of the teachings and wisdom from the Red Pill Consortium highlight that women will not fill voids in your life. In fact, they're more likely to create them. You cannot attain emotional fulfillment nor expect unconditional emotional support from them. With all these voids left after absorbing that wisdom, where then can a man go to get these needs fulfilled? The best resource is guy friends. Now, side note, A guy that calls his wife or girlfriend his best friend is someone I can't be friends with. Because I know deep down he's only saying that to score points with her, because he always says that when she's right by his side and he's introducing her. And he says, "This is my best friend and girlfriend," he says. And when he does that, she looks right at my girlfriend by my side with eyes that say, "Yeah, see how good I got my man cucked? I bet you wish yours was like this too." This guide was made so you won't be that guy. In the movie The Wedding Ringer, which I highly encourage that you see, and please don't let me spoil it for you before you continue listening. Don't continue listening without seeing it, because that movie gives so many red pill truths, and it also fully defines what reinvent ideal even means. But in the movie The Wedding Ringer, Josh Gad's character, Doug, has no male friends. And he's about to get married, but has no best man. And not wanting to look like a total loser in front of his soon-to-be wife and her family, he hires Kevin Hart's character, Jimmy, to pretend to be his best friend and best man. While Jimmy pretends to be Doug's best friend during the entire wedding week, Doug realizes what he's been missing his whole life. As a child, his parents often bounced around the globe, dragging him with them, so it was impossible for him to keep friends, and he ceased trying to even make them. While pretending to be Jimmy's friend, he gets to see what the party animal and bachelor lifestyle could be like, and he gets hooked on it. And Jimmy tries to keep their relationship strictly business. Says, "I'm your best man for a price, but I'm nobody's best friend." However, Jimmy himself starts to see the value in the camaraderie and gives in. By the end of the movie, Doug values his new best friend so much that he isn't even fazed by the fact that his fiancée was just a gold digger, and he had no trouble walking out on the wedding despite how beautiful she was, and how high status and classy the family was, even though they all really were just a bunch of gold diggers. This guide was created to help you create similar friendships and have similar fun in your life. In the lives of men where such friendships are non-existent, you will find greater cases of stress-related illnesses, social isolation, violence, a decreased lifespan, possibly due to a higher likelihood of Alzheimer's, and then also checking out of life early by taking one's own life, less productivity, experiencing a lack of resources in times of crises, and poorer connection with immediate family members. Many child therapists will tell you that when boys stop sharing their intimate feelings, it increases their rates of depression and suicide. While the social imperative thrust upon these boys is to just man up and be tough, this carries all the way over to adulthood, as wives cite emotional unavailability as their reason for divorcing these men. On the flip side of this, though, is nothing but pure positives. Male friends will legitimately be able to relate to you. The problems you experience with women and the cold shoulder of the world are ones they experience too. Males do not bullshit with each other, nor need to walk on eggshells with their words. You can tell the straight truth and be appreciated for it, and you will certainly appreciate being told the straight truth by them. Other guys will not waste your time calling you up just to talk or hanging out just to talk. They always want to be doing something, so they will never bore you. There's something beneficial to your future well-being and growth as a person that you can learn from other men. Rarely will you ever learn anything useful from a woman. A study found that men are far more satisfied from their bromances, as they call it, than they ever are from their romantic relationships, meaning their male best friend did a lot for them in terms of emotional support. Your male friends will never nag you, get pissed off at you for being insensitive, attempt to police your life, stick their noses where they don't belong, nor will they ever #MeToo you. Being around males does more for your attractiveness to women than being around women. When around males, your testosterone increases. When around women, it decreases. And women prefer masculine men. You see, they're repulsed by girly simps, white knights, and male feminists. And contrary to popular belief, you are safer being vulnerable with your guy friends than you ever will be with a female friend or a romantic partner. The magic of male friendship is so powerful that veterans of wars actually find themselves missing the war they fought in and wishing they were back in it because of the bonds they formed with their brothers in arms. There is nothing quite like war to force guys to connect with each other. It forced them to trust each other, as they often had their lives in another man's hands, as well as one in their own. In life, during the information age, there's plenty of advice for young men on dating, choosing a career, making money, and making an impact in the world. But it has little for creating authentic male friendships. Even just on the subject of friendship itself, the internet has so little advice, and what advice it does have is so generic, it's just crap. And this is despite the fact that in this same information age, there is so much validating evidence that males benefit from being close to other males. Grant and Gluck, in a Harvard study, found a direct correlation between male friendships and male happiness. More specifically, that study emphasizes the depth of those friendships, advocating for quality over quantity. But today's social media world pushes for the opposite with its encouragement of racking up friends and followers on social networks where relationships are often shallow and interactions are inconsequential. All the data we have on how beneficial this is must be falling on deaf ears, or perhaps it's being buried under a rock, because heterosexual men have the fewest friends of anyone in America, according to an analysis of 2 decades of data published in the American Sociological Review. Of all the miracles he was said to have done, no one seems to ever mention the greatest miracle Jesus ever pulled off, having 12 close friends in his 30s. Friends that would follow him anywhere, even into the lion's den, the capital city of a government that named him public enemy number 1. But 12 male companions that followed him to his death. Where and how can today's men create tribes like this on their own? The answers lie ahead. Before we continue, we got disclaimers and a caution to read, because we live in such a litigious society full of complete imbeciles that want to blame everybody else for all of the problems that they have. No personal responsibility or anything for their actions, no. So, let me read this to make my attorney happy. You are responsible for your actions and behavior. None of this book is considered legal, personal, medical, or financial advice. By continuing to listen to this audiobook, you hereby indemnify and hold the author, publisher, and parent company, Reinvent Ideal LLC, as well as its directors, officers, agents, attorneys, owners, employees, and successors, and assigns harmless from any loss, liability, claim, or demand, including reasonable as well as unreasonable attorney's fees, from any loss, liability, damage, and cost arising from or in any way related to the contents of this audiobook. You accept full responsibility and liability for actions and results from use in any products, services, or suggestions made inside this book and its supplemental resources. Reinvent Ideal LLC specifically disclaims any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any techniques or contents of this book or manual or supplemental materials provided. By continuing to listen to this audiobook, you agree that you are voluntarily participating in these activities and assume all risks of injury, physical, financial, or other, yourself that might occur, and acknowledge it is your responsibility to decide if you want to follow the contents of this book or not. You are responsible for yourself and release all liability from Reinvent Ideal LLC and its owners, the author, publisher, and parent company. Before acting on anything in this book, seek the advice of a competent professional. All right, we got the lawyers satisfied. Now let's move on.
Thank you for listening to this free sample of the book, Man's Guide to Making Male Friends, by Cairo Copeland. If you enjoyed it and want to hear or read the rest, or want to listen to it free of ads, visit reinventideal.com/friends. The book is available on Kindle, paperback, and Audible at reinventideal.com/friends.